Wait a minute. Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore. Which is true. Gentlemen, that is true. Just because they dress a certain way doesn't mean they are a certain way. Don't ever forget it. But ladies, you must understand that that is fucking confusing. Just is. Now that would be like me, Dave Chappelle the comedian, walking around the streets in a cop uniform. Somebody might run up on me. Oh, thank God. Officer, help us. Come on, they're over here. Help us. I'm like, man, oh, just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a police officer. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, all right, lady, fine. You are not a whore. But you are wearing a whore's uniform, I'll tell you that shit right now.
Taunting boy 1, taunting girl 2, sitting in a tree, Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in the baby carriage. Do you remember this song? From a young age, we received direct and not so direct messages that taught us about the evolutionarily natural order of boy-girl relationships that lead up to pair bonding and the end result being procreation. But things have changed over the decades, as have attitudes, and no more so than with militant third-wave feminists. The Slut Walk, a transnational protest movement that began in Toronto when an outraged feminist felt that the weight of institutional patriarchy crashed into her special snowflake reality when a Toronto police officer suggested that women should avoid dressing like sluts as a precaution against sexual assault. The response? Well, basically that for a woman to show her power, her independence, and her pride, it must be associated with her right to not only be a slut, but also dress like one too. Protesting being called a slut, women throughout the Western world dress in S&M gear, sex costumes, or hardly anything at all. The irony seems to be lost on them. But the key here is that no matter the state of undress, both men and other women should not only provide them with the utmost of respect, but that when even flashing most of her body publicly in a sexual way, that it must be understood that this is not being done for sexual purposes, nor should it be interpreted as such. This is encapsulated in the catchphrase, "still not asking for it." We as a society have finally reached full-on retard tier cognitive dissonance with the mental gymnastics that we have allowed ourselves as well as our society to condone. Take the bikini. I, like most men, am a fan of these small pieces of fabric held together with itty-bitty string, but think on this. When a woman wears one, and I'm not sure where is the right word to use, but anyway, for a woman to display her body in one, well, it shows off pretty much all of a woman's breasts, minus her areola and nipple. Pretty much all of the pelvic area is visible, and the start of the vagina is an extremely short distance below the top of the bikini bottom, and a woman must shave nearly all of her pubic hair to wear one. The bikini is many times tied on with string and is very thin, which are both seductive traits, and like a mini skirt, they suggest to the onlooker that what lies underneath is not protected and is easily within reach. Also, now think on this. Women have no problem prancing around in a bikini. In Europe, they have no problem in many places going topless with only a small sliver of fabric covering their vagina. But almost all women would not be comfortable nor ever consider having strangers, whether on Facebook or family friends, see them in their bra and panties, which in most cases are less revealing than your average bikini. Now, what does this say about women? Well, what it basically says is that they are indirectly affirming the fact that bikinis are too revealing, as they, for the most part, would never wish to be seen publicly in less revealing underwear. And this is where science comes in. In a study carried out at Princeton University, researcher Susan Fisk was shocked to find that sexy women in bikinis really do inspire some men to see them as objects. Who could have guessed? Brain scans revealed that when men are shown pictures of scantily clad women, the region of the brain associated with tool use lights up. Men were also more likely to associate images of sexualized women with first-person action verbs, such as I push, I grasp, I handle. Fisk noted some of the men studied showed no activity in the part of the brain that usually responds when a person ponders another's intentions. What this means is that these men see women as sexually inviting, but they are not thinking about their minds, the shocked researcher said. The lack of activation in this social cognition area is really odd, because it hardly ever happens. Most of these men also remembered headless photographs of women in bikinis, even if they'd only seen the image for 0.2 of a second. Scientists have seen this absence of activation only once before in a study where people were shown off-putting photographs of homeless people and drug addicts. You know, I'm really glad that we have university research to tell us these mind-blowing things, such as when a woman shows her body in a sexual way, she's objectified by men. It really makes you think. Now, these women in these slut walks that want to wear their slut costumes and still think that they should not be sexually objectified, well, ladies, you're still wearing the costume. And as Dave Chappelle said, it's confusing. Actually, evolutionarily, it confuses men, as this study shows. Another thing to consider is that when a woman is in fact a slut, the chances are she will be a very poor choice for a life mate, or in the old-fashioned parlance, wife material. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's been statistically shown that the more sexual partners a woman has, the greater the chance of her inability to create and maintain a stable marriage. In fact, said chance of domestic instability rises in tandem with the number of her previous non-marriage sexual partners. Moral of the story? Well, it is indeed hard to make a strong, liberated, independent, sexually promiscuous woman into a wife. So go ahead, ladies, go on your slut walks, dress up like a tart, and demand that men don't objectify or judge you. Do this throughout your 20s, even into your early 30s. But don't be surprised when you hit a wall and flounder around wondering where all the good men are when you finally want to settle down. Now, mind you, with regards to protesting for and demanding society accept their wanting to dress like a slut, act like a slut, and live the slut lifestyle, but not be judged or objectified, is clearly and singularly the desire of Western women. You will not find slut walks in Japan. You will not find slut walks in Bhutan. You will not find slut walks in the Congo, nor in Colombia. I'm not saying that women should be harmed, given unwanted attention, nor verbally abused by anyone for anything. But it is clearly Western women and Western women only that think fighting for the right to dress like and act like a slut is somehow advancing the cause of women. This is Bree Olson, a strong, independent woman who has broken free of the shackles of the patriarchy.
A simple question, like, how would you like to be treated?
Oh my gosh, I've never thought about that. God, that is so simple. I guess, I would, I wish that people would treat me how they would treat a married, registered nurse with 2.5 kids in Indiana. That's how I wish people would treat me. I learned that there are some things that no matter how open-minded you are, other people will never be, and that you shouldn't do. And I send a very strong message to young girls: don't do porn, because as much I understand it, you want to embrace your sexuality, you want to say screw the man, screw whatever, like I can do what I want with my body, but you're just gonna have a life of crap in front of you and dealing with people.
I'm not saying that women should not be free to be, dress, and act like a slut. Be as slutty as you like. All I'm saying is that we humans are bipedal apes, and attempting to force postmodern ideology down the throat of society and expect it to trump evolutionary biology is ludicrous. But so are slut walks and the vacuous women that attend them. If I were a betting man, and here's my stock tip to my viewers, when looking at millennial women in their abortion-loving, Chad-chasing, drug-imbibing, body-piercing, vibrant-colored, dyed hair, tattooed-covered ways, I would be putting my money into cat food company stocks, as they will probably double, triple, or quadruple in the coming decade. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and also I'd like to introduce Heather from England. Obviously not a third-wave feminist if she'd work with me. She is now the editor of our fledgling website and the newest member of the Black Pigeon team.